Okay, so one new feature is that we're not all going back to bronze. So if you are like not good at the game and you still want to play ranked and you're like bronze, you'll still be able to play against people that are pretty much at your skill level. Okay. Legend and diamond players will go to gold 5. So if you are right now, if you're gold, silver, or bronze, when you log in, servers go up, you will not play against anyone that hit legend or diamond last month. Which is quite a lot of people. Like at the end of the month, it's quite a lot of people. Like there's like 10,000 legend players last month. Just so you know. So if you didn't hit diamond last month, when you play in a few hours, you will not play against the top 10,000 ranked players. So that's good. Like if you're a new player, it's like changes like these are really good for the game, I think. It's more than 10,000, it was like 12,000. Players be awarded gems for their duplicate cosmetics. Oh baby. Duplicates, I got those. Automatically converted to gems. They're also making it so like I don't see it here. They're making it so any chest that you got after Stelle came out will also now include Jules cosmetics. So I have like 2,300 of those chests. Okay. Existing duplicates. Duplicate legendary 1250. That's quite a lot. This is a lot actually. Basically, you have infinity gems now. If you play a good bit, infinity gems. No longer auto refreshes on purchase. Oh. Oh damn, okay. Prices are about the same though. Rise pass updates are resuming. What does that mean? Directly to the chest. 30 new skins. All Jules items. Normal mode now gives 1, 2, 3 chests instead of 2, 4, 6. Yeah, dude. Come over to ranked, guys. Come get your chests. Surely you'll get more. Surely. That sucks. I mean, if you were a hardcore player and you're only playing normal, I mean, you are playing on the easy difficulty level. Let's be real. Let's be real. Okay. Maybe this is a little bit of an aggressive nerf for chests, but yeah, come on, bros. Come on. Let's get real. Get real. Okay. It should have been less to begin with. Soft racing, that's already covered in their own patch notes. Lots of tooltip issues. Several changes to the skills available to each hero to better reflect core identities. That's very interesting. That's potentially major. Like, you might be thinking, Guys, imagine Dooley gets makeshift plate. Like, we're talking about 1 million shield Dualtron builds, right? So these can have major build enabling changes. Most with an item clauses in items removed, so they work with skills. Skill outputs will be more limited going forward. So, like, one of the skills that's currently in the game is when you use a tool, burn 3. On the test thing that we did, it was the first few times, like the first 4 times you use a tool, burn 5. So this is actually a buff. It's a nerf to those skills, but it's a buff to the builds that use them. Because think of it this way, things like, for example, textiles was not using heal triggers from skills. So now if it uses heal triggers from skills, even if it's like a max, even if it's a cap at 10, that's like 10 seconds extra that you're forwarding into combat at combat start. For late game builds, that's a massive buff. For like early game, it's a nerf, but usually don't have those skills in the early game. In the mid game, it's kind of a mixed bag, so I wouldn't say it's a nerf or a buff. It really depends on the situation. The only time it's a little bit of a nerf is if you get those skills really early. Like if you had the when you use a tool burn 3, which is now like burn 5. So if you were playing like Dooley and you got that on literally your first silver skill and you're playing like 10 tools, which you can by the way, that's like a legit Dooley build, you did get nerfed, yes. But those are like so niche, right? That's why I say it's a mixed bag. It's so niche. So yeah, this is generally a buff. This is a buff, in my opinion. Corrected a number of active doubling effects, which would retroactively also double new buffs. Lava roll and Atlas stone. Are they talking about like obsidian Atlas stone? Is that the kind of stuff they're talking about? I guess we'll see. Optimize several visual. That's not retaining buffs. Increase the trigger priority of value gain effects in combat to resolve some inconsistent ordering issues. Okay, so I did mention how in the Bazaar they have like a hidden item priority system. And if you have two items with the same priority, it goes left to right. But sometimes the effects take like a global cooldown to actually resolve. So for example, okay, here's a good example. If you have something that gives shield and like something that uses your shield and does damage based on that shield, if you go left to right, it will work. You'll get all of the shield, and then you'll do the damage based on the shield off all of the shield. But then if you have an item that's like haste adjacent, and then you have an item that's like gains damage when hasted, usually, if it's the same priority, it will not gain the damage, because the damage gain will happen after the item goes off, like 0.2 seconds later. Okay, so this thing makes it so not only are value gains now high priority, so it doesn't matter if it's left or right of most items, but also it kind of seems to suggest that value gain will be instantaneous. It may have already been instantaneous. Some effects are instantaneous, some are not. Okay, so I don't know about that, but if this is their goal, value gain effects should have very high priority. So it's I think that's good. It's kind of weird if it wouldn't work, right? Sandwich artist stew. First time you use a non-burn or non-poison, charge your burn and poison. That's kind of cool, actually. Wait, what is this? Oh, it's just a new item and it's called Foul Mushroom. Oh, I guess that's probably on this thing, right? Foul Mushroom. When any item is used, increase its cooldown by 0.5. Rainbow Staff. Poison, burn, freeze, slow. When you buy this and at start of each day, enchant this. Seems pretty good. And I guess we don't have any information on the skills. Oh, they just tell you what they do. Okay, that's good. Relic and tool cooldown. The first time you fall below half health, use your relics and potions. Wow. Wow. Yeah, and this has to be diamond because it has no tiering. So you're like, what's the big deal? Mac has a potion that literally heals him to full health, and Mac has a potion that makes him invincible for 2 seconds. So like going to half health and then full healing and becoming invincible for 2 seconds, that's pretty good actually. Lifesteal weapon damage, pretty decent. First time you use an item, haste relics. Your leftmost item is a relic. Interesting. Stelle. 4 new items. Is it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess we're missing one of the items. Wow, why is this so blurry? When this item starts flying, this gains 4 burn for the fight. Tool and drone. Seems pretty garbage. Adjacent weapons gain 30 damage for the fight. It has a 4-second cooldown at silver. Adjacent burn plus 6. When a flying item gains damage or burn during combat, haste it 1 second. Pretty nice actually. Yo, this has an infinite. It's a Vanessa skill, so you have to get this item on Vanessa. Vanessa has, when you haste a weapon, give it 10 damage. So it would be a passive loop infinite combo. But the reason it's important, it's that it also spams hastes infinitely. So it'll synergize with other stuff like pufferfish and crap like that. Shark Ray. Yeah, I guess you also have to make it flying, which might be a bit tricky. Yeah, this is a very, very powerful effect. Slow one item for 2 seconds. If this is flying, another item starts flying. This is very, very good. Because Stelle has a lot of items that grant flying to like adjacent type of stuff. So this helps you kind of get your full board to fly, basically propagating those. This is flying. Destroy this. When it's destroyed, deal 100. When you burn, this gains 20 damage for the fight. I mean, that's pretty good for bronze. Maybe it scales well into diamond. Additional hidden options. Some hidden options have had their values slightly modified. So basically, the laser getting 2 seconds cooldown reduction, it now gets 1 second cooldown reduction. That's what they're trying to say. Correct. Now it has rerolls for 8 gold, but no longer offers enchanted items. Yo, that's big. The hero, the cross-class hero vendors used to have a crazy amount of enchanted items. Like every single one would have like, okay, maybe not every single one. You'd probably average like 2 enchanted items after like day 6. But sometimes you get like 4. That's kind of nuts. Also, 8 gold is a very steep refresh. Why would you reroll for 8? Like I showed you guys, like you can get some infinite type stuff. Like if you have a refueling plan, you can get infinity with a shark ray or a crossbow. So if you see a Vanessa vendor, yeah, it might be worth it. Because you're not rerolling for 3 items, you're rerolling for a full screen. Right? So there are some really, really big hits still. Aerodome, it's now day 5. No longer spawns fights except hidden ones. I think that means it won't spawn a fight, but it'll spawn like a mountain event which could have a fight. I think that's what it means. I primarily use Aerodome to get like an extra skill vendor very late. That's like my top use for Aerodome. Because early on, it's not worth spending much gold. You just kind of go with whatever you get a lot of the time. Corrected an issue where treasure chest here was always the mimic. That sounds like a good issue. Deflect. I don't know what that is. What is deflect? Improve your shield items. Wait, Stelle couldn't get deflect? I didn't know that. Corrected an issue where these options would only spawn items that start at bronze tier. That's not true. Well, it says an issue, so I guess there was some issues with over-spawning bronze items. It did overly spawn bronze items. Like, I would do docks on, like, day 6 and get a bronze item, which is pretty weird, because on day 6 you got, like, silver and gold in the mix. But I'm sure I've gotten silver items off docks. Gold, I'm not sure. Oh, it only gave items that start at bronze, not necessarily bronze. I see. That's interesting. So now you can get a much larger range of items. It's pretty cool. Mountain Pass improved several of the non-combat outcomes. So we'll have another look at those options when we see them. Mysterious Portal now gives 0 XP by default and no longer spawns fights. That's rough because it gave 2. Pip now offers 4 skill options along with 2 gold. What? You mean a 2 gold reroll? I think it means a 2 gold reroll. It's nerfed to starting enchanted. Nobody uses Pip anymore. Yeah, screw Pip. Racetrack no longer spawns for Mac. I think Racetrack is a vehicle vendor. Okay, I don't even know what that is, I guess. Reginald can now spawn health-related skills also. Get a haste item. Teaches heal and regen skills. Health-related skills also. Antiquarian no longer spawns on Stelle and Jules. Wait, why not? Oni mask? The relic pool is too small. Kinda weird. The tester can now spawn for Vanessa, and Stelle now sells tech items from any hero, now spawns day 6+. Flintstone's nerfed. Justified. That item is busted. It's still busted. 5 cooldowns, insane. GPU. Man, I pretty much never used it at 5, so that's a needed buff. Primal Core is faster at silver and gold. I'll be honest, I only really used Primal Core to turn stuff into relics for Flintstones. So, whatever, I guess. Clarence, same at bronze, a little bit nerfed at silver and gold, same at diamond. Pretty reasonable. Same treatment for Brick Buddy, pretty reasonable. When your dinosaurs or relics deal damage, Interesting. Burn equal to 20% of your shield. That is a big percent. That's a big percent. Microdave is now a tool. So friend and tool is very strong because if you get the ignition core, you can use Dave and soldering gun right next to him to the right of the core. Friend and tool is very significant. Charge on small or core, also very significant. The burn value is higher. The charge. Wow, what the hell? Dude, this thing is insane. Jesus. Bro, this thing is actually nuts. This thing is so fast that I'd probably just use it on every Dooley build now. I wouldn't even care if I have a burn core or not. I just put him to the left of the core. Who gives a shit? Yeah, it's crazy. Pylon slows an extra item. That's very significant. Pylon is actually a decent item. I have gotten 10 wins with like 2 out of 2 runs using Pylon this month, I think. Remember, one I had Obsidian. Basically, the Pylon enchants are really strong. Chemsnail. Chemsnail's pretty bad. I don't know if that's enough. Armadillo is buffed. Really? Temporal Navigator starts at bronze. What? The bronze relic pool is kind of small. Light bulb starts at bronze. It's also very big. They buffed Dualtron. What the hell? Yo, what kind of drooling noobs are doing bad with Dooley this month? What the hell is this? Dooley's like insanely strong, and they just buffed the hell out of like a lot of good items. I got 10 wins with Armadillo like 5 times this month. I got 10 wins with Pylon like twice both times, basically. Tank Yankee and Clarence needed toning down. They're still fine. Flintstones needed toning down. It's still insanely OP. But I'd often use Flintstones with Primal Core, so Primal Core is a little bit better now, right? Firefly at bronze. The Wasp at bronze. Cog at bronze. Yeah, these are really, really big changes for Dooley. Sky Spirit Ashes. I'll be honest, I've never heard this item before. Oh, this thing. Corrected an issue with Deadly and Radiant not targeting enchanted items. Clarence and Breakbody were buffed? Oh, what? Oh, I read it backwards. Wait, but those things are already strong. What the hell? Dude. I feel like I'm gonna pick Stelle and just get farmed by... Pick Jules and just get farmed by Doolies all day. Clarence was bad? No, he wasn't. Clarence was not good at like day 8+, and that didn't change. But Clarence was really good in the mid-game, and that's the part that they buffed. So mid-game, Breakbody Clarence is actually cracked. Vial Launcher, when you use a potion. Slight nerf at gold, same at diamond. When you transform a potion, the damage is slight nerf at gold, same at diamond, but no longer on reload. When you reload a potion, charge it 2 seconds. Interesting. Atmospheric Sampler starts at diamond. It's still not nerfed? How is it still not nerfed? How does this item survive like 4 months? It's 1 second at diamond, but it doesn't say that. What's the other item? Pendulum? The pendulum is just charge 1 second and they have to be adjacent, which can be a problem. And it's effectively only 2 items. It now starts at 1. Okay. Well, if it's 1 second, it's fine. Bottle Explosion, just nerf at gold. Boiling Flask at gold is kind of a nerf. I would really most often pick that up at silver. Candles nerfed. What? Okay. Satchel is buffed. Satchel, the one where you want to spam buy potions to up its regen value. This is already like a decent build, but now at diamond it reloads twice as many, which effectively doubles its regen also, because it's a trigger on reload. So this item is like 4 times better now at diamond. Oh, maybe not, because you go from 6 to 7. It's three times better. Frost Totem silver. They buffed it a little bit back. Tomb of the Ancients nerfed. Dragon's Breath is decent. Infinite Potion doesn't matter. Regen Potion, slightly more regen. Ooh, Bottled Tornado, 5-second cooldown, log in. Tomb buffed. Oh, Tomb buffed! Wait, they buffed Tomb. Wait, why do they buff Tomb? Tomb's OP. Oh, they buffed Gravestone. Holy moly. Viper Cane starts silver and it's buffed. Viper Cane's like pretty decent, I think. When you poison or gain regen with an item, your weapons gain damage. That seems pretty good. Ouroboros, less poison, more regen, but silver is like giga buffed. 5 poison from 4, 4 regen from 2. Basilisk Fang, good. Bug fix. Cellar is just like a reload item, I think. Yeah, it kind of sucks. You mostly use it for a catalyst generator, so now with it being a little bit faster, maybe you'll actually use the item for using the item. Your other flying gain haste, previously could target itself, slight nerf, okay. Frozen Flame. That's the freeze all your enemies' stuff when you hit half. I think this is actually very important. Yeah. I think that item in like the early and mid game was way too strong on a burn build. 2 seconds is an eternity. Tome regen nerfed a little. So rapid injection system, lower poison values is actually probably a buff because the poison values would outscale the regen ones, so you'd take damage. Infused bracers, slight nerf. Oh, freeze items! They're nerfed! Freeze duration increases only to the item to the left. Peace. I did a couple runs off stream yesterday. One of them was Frozen Piggles Day 1. And I transformed the extra Piggles into 2 frozen ladles. And then I got a Mac vendor and picked up a Sapphire. None of my opponents used any items. So if you think this didn't need to be nerfed, it needed to be nerfed. Okay? It absolutely needed to be nerfed. Runic Double Bow is better scaling. I actually thought Runic Double Bow was pretty decent. Slight nerf to Femur. I haven't played Femur in like 2 months, but I have lost to it a few times, so it's definitely still very good. They're nerfing it a little bit. Bottled Lightning. Less damage, less burn. Honestly, I think this is fine. It did a bit too much damage before. Adrenal, a little bit less regen, also fine. Quillback, a little bit less regen, also fine. Goop Flail buffed. 1 second faster at all tiers. Toxic weapons nerfed. Honestly, overall, this is a Mac nerf, I would say. The only really big standout buff is Satchel. I think pursuing economy-based buy every potion you see Satchel builds are going to be very decent. Most other stuff is nerfed, though mostly slightly. Atlatl nerfed? Oh, only bronze. So bronze is nerfed, all other tiers are buffed. That's actually fair. Atlatl buffs were 5 per tier. Now they're 10 per tier. So I like that. That's fair. Burn scaling nerfed by 1. Cooldown 5 instead of 4. Oh no! Matchbox Pig. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Especially because a lot of people will be playing Jules, and Jules has a lot of like rapid fire shields. If your burns are garbage and you're going up against shield enemies constantly, that is a really big nerf, actually. Caltrop starts at diamond. That's a big nerf. Just because if an item starts at gold, you're going to see it way more frequently. Diamond start items, they effectively don't exist. Orange Piggle A. Wait. I feel like I never get this one. I don't remember ever getting this one. I think this was not enabled before. So only that one is 5 seconds. But they didn't change the scaling on it. So basically, the left and right ones, they have lower scaling, and the A one has the same scaling, but 5-second cooldown. It's not too bad, actually. Healthy Hoarder. Oh yeah, that skill is nuts. Brawler. Little bit better quest requirements for dog. Good. Showcase starts at silver. Ooh, that's tough. Beast of Burden, 8-second cooldown. Okay. Paladi buffed by 1 second. Brass Knuckles buffed by 1 second. Snowmobile. Change to apply its damage buff on freeze. It's what? Because I haven't used Snowmobile in a while. Oh, I see. So instead of when you use it, it's on freeze. That actually makes it worse for like weapon builds. It's better for freeze builds, but it doesn't freeze, so you probably wouldn't care about using it in a freeze build. Matchbox, -1 burn. The Money Furnace is nerfed at silver? Spend 5 to increase 4, and this is spend 6 to increase 5. Yeah, slight nerf at silver, better at gold, better at diamond. Money Furnace is pretty weak. It's not like a hopeless item, but it is pretty weak. Cash Cannon gains double, equal. Okay. So basically they doubled the scaling of Cash Cannon. I think that might make it usable. Maybe not conclusively, but I think I might give it a try now. Jabalin Dagger, 3-second cooldown. What is a Jabalin Dagger? Does anyone know what a Jabalin Dagger is? Oh, is the pig one? Yo, you got a spelling error. Damage equal to this item's value. So if I get its value to like 100, I'll do like 200 damage, 3-second cooldown. Is that good? No. It is not good. Spacescraper, still kind of weak. Landscraper basically got fixed to vineyard values. Oh wait, they're both buff though. Oh. That's a pretty big buff. These are like pretty decent items actually. Wait, didn't they say that they didn't want to like encourage out of combat scaling? These are some of the best out of combat scalers. There's like this is more than twice as good now. More than twice as good. That's a big change. Because it's literally doubled, but now you get a truffle. You didn't get a truffle before. Pig's whole thing is out of combat. I mean, yeah, it seems like it. Aerial turret is no longer a drone. Slight nerf. Ornithopter starts at bronze. Your flying weapons have damage, replaces cooldown reduction. Yo, the cooldown reduction was kind of a big part, though. That was a really big deal of why you use the Ornithopter. Daggerwing, slight buff. Daggerwing is pretty decent, so it's nice. Radiant Firecrackers no longer prevents destruction. I don't know, man. That sounds like a pretty cool mechanic. Oh, wait, no. It runs out of ammo anyway. It's useless. Wait. Why would you want Radiant on it? Just to knock it slowed? That's really crappy. Flysicle. Your leftmost item that isn't flying starts flying. Your flying shield items have... Okay, it's actually really good. Flysicle will basically make sure your entire board has flying eventually, which is a very powerful effect for a small item now. Hydrant Tank no longer prevents destruction. Oh, okay. Lava Roller now only doubles on destroying your own items. And you get like 1 extra free buff. That's decent, I guess. Lunchbox, 1 more regen. Still very low, honestly. Oxygen Tank. Pinwheel, a small item starts flying, replaces regen. What does it do now then? So 5-second cooldown when your items start flying, charges 2 seconds. It just makes all your stuff flying. Man, that's kind of insane. The ability to just make your stuff fly on Stelle is like giga-buffed. Like giga-buffed. Like Flysicle plus Pinwheel, all your shit's flying. That's it. 2 small items. And then you use like 1 stop flyer, and then you basically put in a dagger wing and have 4 extra slots, which is insane. 3 extra slots. That's actually insane. Orbital Polisher starts at silver, quest requirement 100 instead of 150. Starting at silver is a nerf, but yeah, 100 is a lot more reasonable, especially the other changes. Marshalling Light starts at bronze. That's a stop flying. So wait, the bronze one is one item stops flying? That's it? Cooldown 5, one item stops flying? Holy moly, that's a piece of crap. Why even make it bronze then? Rivet gun, now a weapon. No longer self-charges, but it's pretty fast. Charge the item to the left 1, 3-second cooldown. That's pretty decent. Not amazing, but it's pretty decent. Sandbags, just to go faster. Sky Anchor. When you slow, charge 2 and does pretty good damage. Okay. Squirrel Suit starts at bronze. When this starts flying, haste adjacent items. And it was gain regen. So no more regen, now haste. Yeah, it's not too bad. Overall, I feel like the really degen combos for Stelle are nerfed. Because, let's be honest, they almost always involved Ornithopter. Like, literally almost all the Giga degen crap was Ornithopter. But they kind of buffed everything else. So I think Stelle overall is stronger, but the the top 5% of builds are worse. Space Laser is the same, even better. Ornithopter was really big for starting Space Laser, but yeah, possibly. Vanessa Cannon. Burn 10% of the damage. So it would still be the same amount of burn, except now you can scale it. So Cannon is a double buff. How about that? Okay. Custom Scope is back to being tech. I thought it was tech before. Hoverboard base damage nerfed at silver and gold. That's very fair. The crest now starts at silver and scales better into diamond. I always found the crest was kind of bad because the scaling was so bad. Like, you go from gold crest to diamond, gain 5% crit. Like, 5% crit, you have to spend 8 gold for that. Even if you saw it in a shop, you might not buy it, right? That's pretty bad. Now it goes 25 to 35. You'd definitely buy it there. Lighter buffed. Wait, they buffed Lighthouse? They buffed Lighthouse. Okay. Outer flask. That's the ammo regain. A 4-second cooldown is much more sensible than a 5. A lot of ammo items are pretty fast. Like, now you can do powder flask cannon. Like, silver cannon, 4-second cooldown, 60 damage, 6 burn. I guess that's not like game breaking or anything, but it's pretty good. Heat starts at bronze, burn 2, and the cooldown goes to 5. Decent. I think it's a buff for Oni Mask. Mr. Richardson has a higher base shield. Not bad. Old Stormclaw, higher base damage. Not bad. Ice Pick. Higher scaling at gold and diamond, lower cooldown. That's pretty playable. I think Ice Pick is just good now. If it's 5-second cooldown, but freezes an item for 1, in my opinion, that's slightly better than 1-second cooldown on itself. Because you might be, like, screwing up the timing of one of their combos. Like, the potential damage that you deal with even a short freeze effect can be game-winning. So, it's essentially a 4-second cooldown item that scales itself. I think you pretty much always buy Ice Pick now. And just literally just leave it on your board. Like, in the mid-game, I think you can just put Ice Pick on your board in almost any Vanessa build. Is the download available? I already patched earlier, so I'm not sure. Julian minus a second. Might be back to being playable. That was a really long second that it gained. Clamora slow nerfed. That's kind of a big deal, but Clamora is really insane. Sniper going to 9 is pretty significant. Shark Ray starting at bronze is quite significant. Submarine damage up slightly. Not bad. Silver Trebuchet. Nerf to Weather Glass. Volcanic vents is now 7-second cooldown instead of 8. Bio merge aim. What? Oh. Oh, bio merge arm. I've never managed to use this item. Candy mail, super syrup, Epicurean chocolate, correct an item issue where if the item was upgraded while in your stash, the ammo would not recover. Hey! I reported that one. Very nice. Dragon Whelp, double buffed, faster and more damage base. That's pretty big. Moon Orb. Oh yeah, the tooltip was wrong. It worked properly, but the tooltip was wrong. I reported that one also. Guardian Shell, 7-second cooldown. Charge 2. Is this the Vanessa turtle? No, it's a snail. When you poison, charge. Kind of crap. Salamander. So they just nerfed bronze Salamander. Oh wow, Diamond Salamander is 16? Yo! You mostly find it bronze on Curio? Yeah, but 16 burn is such a huge amount, you might consider just like using it for a while. Maybe not to 16, but to 8 I can see it. Are you gonna get it to diamond? There's ways. Okay, there's ways. Skill changes. These are mixed with like all the heroes. The first 4, 8, 12 times you use a drone or vehicle, burn 5. Yeah, see, those have like numbers on them. That is a little bit of a nerf for Stelle. Have a vehicle. No longer requires the vehicle destruction. Wait, so if you had a radiant one, it would prevent you from healing? That's funny. I didn't know it worked that way. Flash your reload, times you crit, reload. Reload another item. So now you can reload itself. That happened to me one time. I don't remember. Maybe it did. I don't think so, though. When you burn, gain regen. Oh, they just nerfed the skill a lot, basically. Heated shells. Heated shells is quite nerfed. It's mostly heroes that had limitations on item uses. Like, heated shells is just a nerf. But the ones that proc heal are a buff for textile players, right? So it really depends. Housewarming gifts now triggers on properties sold. How's that housewarming? I mean, I agree, this is way too much space to be useful, but bro, this capitalist housing market is crazy, yo. You now get housewarming gifts when you sell your house. Yeah, dude. Fuck 'em. Destroying Bazaar lore. Foreclosure gifts, seller's market. Not of the hero you're currently playing. Previously, if you're on Vanessa using a pig item, it would charge non-pig items. Oh, okay, so now it's based on the hero instead of the item, which is possibly a nerf, actually. But to be fair, I didn't know it worked this way. So it's not really a nerf, because I didn't know it worked that way. I doubt many people knew it worked that way. Basically, before, if you had like boulder, okay? So you had boulder, and then every other item was like a Pygmalion item on Vanessa. When you used your Pygmalion items, it would charge your boulder. But yeah, I didn't know it worked that way, so it's not really a buff. I've never used it that way. I don't even think I've even seen it used that way. And now it works like we expect it to. Poison gain regen, small item gain regen. The reason this is big is because they removed the bronze and silver versions, and these were skills that you would sometimes get off like the friendly monster for free. The first 10 times your enemy uses an item, poison 5. That's kind of a nerf. Shatter starts at gold. No! Muff freeze! 3 or 12 times a small item, heal 50! Oh no! Oh wait, no, it's fine. It's fine. I thought it would make the already pretty tough Piggles monster like invincible, but actually it makes him suck because it's only the first 3 times he heals for 50. So he has 3 fast items, so he just heals for 150 at like the 5-second mark, which pretty much doesn't do anything, and then he doesn't heal anymore. They actually nerfed that monster, and that skill is very nerfed now. Now, while I think all of these changes are good, they are still not nerfing the infinite skills. Like when you slow charge an item 1 second, that's still not nerfed. I've been asking them to nerf those things for like 6 months. Basically, those skills were in line with the crazy Wild West version of Bazaar we got like a year ago. And over time, they've basically nerfed all the Wild West crazy OP garbage. And those are, after this patch, those are like the last ones that are left, right? No maximum charge loop enabling monster skills. There's only a few, but they're so busted because everything else just got nerfed that they're like so much stronger now. Snowstorm, pretty big nerf actually. The 1 potion, what is this skill? If you only have 1 potion, it has +1 max ammo and its cooldown halved. Now only grants plus ammo to items with ammo. Oh, this is a funny one. So some items would get bricked when you'd give them ammo because you couldn't then remove the ammo. So I think what was happening is if you had a vat of acid, which was a potion, it would give it 1 max ammo. And then after it got used once, it was bricked. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So now it doesn't brick it anymore, basically, is what that changes. First time to use potion each fight, gain 10 regen. They're basically expanding the skill to silver and slightly nerfing it. But I think that's actually a buff. Hear me out, okay? I think it's a buff because when you get the skill at like diamond, regen doesn't matter. Like on day 12 where you have 10,000 health, I don't care if they get 80 regen, right? It's just like a rounding error situation. I don't care. When it actually matters is like day 3, 4, 5, and now you can actually get this skill on that day, right? So that's kind of upped, I would say. It's a nerf, but it's a more relevant skill. Time to tinker. First time you haste shield 50. I also kind of like this, but it is a nerf for like Armadillo type stuff. It's a big nerf for Armadillo. Basically, you get way more shield right at the start, but later in the fight, it's less shield and you can't make loops with it. First time you use a tool, haste the tool. When you use a friend, poison. Okay, so that skill is still infinite. Still infinite. That's pretty big. For like Dualtron type builds, it's pretty big. Friend burn now has a limit. I feel like they're getting there. Like next patch, they gotta nerf the. It's the only thing left. The infinity charge monster skills. And then we don't have like wild Bazaar anymore, which I think is good, because I think that's kind of crazy.